Welcome back to Skyways to Highways, where this week we are taking you from Pensacola all the way up to South Dakota.
And I'm Fred, and this is our little baby girl, Goldie. We're glad you can join us on our long trip from St. Petersburg all the way to Homer, all of the Kenai Peninsula and Anchorage, Fairbanks, and all that. Right now, I'm going to hand it over to you.
As you guys can see here, we are brand new at this, and we started in Pensacola and drove to Hope Hole, Alabama. We first ended up in Montgomery South RV Park. What a charming little place that was. Goldie loves the fenced-in dog park there. I just love how they follow us right to your site in a golf cart. Pull right up, waved us in. What else did we love about that place? It was a quick overnight.
And it was clean.
It was clean. Right off the interstate. We drove 163 miles that day. $59 cash. You can't beat that.
Next one was Hope Hill, Alabama to Franklin, Kentucky. Long stretch. It was 338 miles. Now, you got to remember, we got her, or Goldie, so we got to stop every now and then. Plus, I think we stopped for gas on that leg as well. So it took us a little bit longer than most, but that's okay. We just had a long day, but quick overnight.
That was at Dad's Blue Grass, $50 a night. We are also learning, as you can see us washing our RV, it's becoming a ritual that it is the very first thing that we do when we pull into these campsites. You guys, these bugs, it is springtime and these bugs just get stuck on our rig. That is the very first thing that we do when we pull into our site. After we left Franklin, Kentucky, we got to stop at the National Corvette Museum in
Bowling Green, Kentucky,
which was absolutely amazing, you guys. And I'm gonna show you some of the footage from the actual museum itself.
What's cool about the Corvette Museum, I've been to a lot of different transportation car museums all over the world. This is just dedicated to the Corvette. It starts with the history of it, the designers, the engineers, the prototypes, the very first ones, as well as some of the modern prototypes that never made it out of the design stage. There's racing Corvettes there. There is some very rare Corvettes there. Plus, back in 2014, they had a huge sinkhole open up in the middle of the museum, and I think 8 or 9 Corvettes went to the bottom. Well, they dragged all of them out, fixed the hole, of course, and they did restore a couple, and a couple they did not, because it was they were one-ofs. They were just a creation that they made for PGE, which is the paint manufacturer, among other things that PGE makes.
We also got to see Neil Armstrong and Jim Lovell's Corvettes. I couldn't believe that GM offered these astronauts the chance to lease the Corvettes for just $1 a year in the 60s.
It was really cool. And even if you're not a Corvette fan, it's just an interesting history of
America's first
sports car.
Thank you. After the Corvette Museum, we had a short day that day. We drove 173 miles and we drove up to Evansville, Indiana for another quick overnight. This guy was really cool. He was one of that. We are actually really liking these mom and pop campgrounds that we're finding. He actually gave us a site for the night, $32 cash for full hookups. We had our water, our Subaru right there at site. Goldie had plenty of room to stretch her legs and run around, which is very important to us. And then the next day,
where did we go? We went to Granite City. Where's Granite City?
Granite City is in Illinois.
In Illinois, that's right. Because we almost took a straight shot from Pensacola right up the heart of America, right up north, because we wanted to scoot along and dodge all of the weather systems at the time that were building in the Plain States. So that was a really cool place too, and that was a short one, about 173 miles. When I say short, it still takes like 6-7 hours because we got to stop here and there. And we stayed at a KOA, which was, how much was that?
So that ended up being $64.80. And this is where Fred realized the initial water leak was happening.
Yeah, because I started filling up the potable water, or the onboard water tank, and I'm looking at dripping. I'm going, where's this coming from? Because it's supposed to be a sealed unit. And that's when I found out the fittings from the factory were loose, well, not loose, but not properly sealed with glue and solvent.
So this is where Fred was able to mastermind and put together a solution, which I'm gonna add a quick clip of the previous video of all of the fixes that Fred was able to go ahead and repair on our rig just since being on the road in 28 days. So after Granite City,
we went to Kansas City.
so I could have barbecue, and we stayed at Worlds of Fun. So at Worlds of Fun,
which is an amusement park,
which made me feel like I was at Wally World, because it was like an abandoned amusement park because all the kids are still in school. So it was completely deserted.
That was really a nice setup too. It was right near the highway sort of, but we really didn't hear any noises at all. And we had the whole park to ourselves. There were maybe like 2 or 3 other rigs there. Plus we did some laundry there too. It was a good facility, and the showers and stuff were real nice because it's a theme park of that area that's only open in the summer months, of course. So we were there just before the opening, which I think started in early June or something.
Yeah, beginning of June. So that actually was a long push just for my barbecue. And as you guys can see, the barbecue was well worth it as we visited the historic Arthur Bryant's BBQ, and man, was that worth it. That was a 251-mile day for America's best barbecue.
So I know everybody's going to argue about that, but anyway, it was great. Then we went to Sioux City. 286 miles. That was a long day. And we also stayed at a KOA.
The KOA in Sioux City ended up costing us $61.63, but was absolutely worth it. Goldie definitely appreciates her freedom off the leash in the mornings before a long travel day at KOA's K9 camps.
And then Sioux City, from South Dakota, we did our longest run of 424 miles, which we won't do again because that was a long 8-9 hour day, if that. But the interesting thing is that we violated the rule, so to speak, of, drive 3 days, have our rule and having a couple days somewhere just to recoup, because driving a rig is exhausting because of traffic and whatnot. That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days on the road. We did go all the way up to South Dakota, like I said, straight up north, and that set us up for more time, because in the next videos.
So the next video to come, we spend 4 nights, 5 days in Rapid City, South Dakota. We're gonna show you where we went to. We visited Mount Rushmore, and we went to
Custer
State Park and saw tons of bison. We can't wait to show you that episode. If you're new here, don't forget to go back to the Alaska playlist and start from episode 1 so you can watch this journey from the very beginning.
And don't forget to subscribe, like, and also ring the bell, because that helps us, and it's really cool reading the comments and seeing how many people are watching these. I know we're brand new here, but we've got a lot of content coming because this is a several month journey trip and a lot more after that.